Hey everyone, welcome back to Tech and Thoughts, where parenting meets innovation. I'm your host, Pavani, a software engineer, a tech lover, and a curious mom exploring how technology is shaping our children's lives. Today, we are diving into one of the most debated topics in modern parenting: screen time versus smart time, and whether AI can actually be a healthy tool for our kids. And joining me is Miss Nivedita, a child psychologist who works closely with the families on emotional wellness and behavior. Miss Nivedita, welcome back to the show again.
Thank you for inviting me, Pavni. I'm excited to be here. This topic that we discussed and presenting here is incredibly very important these days, especially for those parents who feel stuck, between keeping up with the pace of technology and also would like to protect the well-being of the child. I think it is going to help them to a larger extent.
Yes, that's very true. So let's start with what I am seeing in the tech world today. When we speak about our generation kids, it's like when we have these weekends or the family time, we completely used to watch shows like Vikramaditya, Panchatantra, and all such kind of shows on the television only. We
Yeah.
literally do not have anything as such screen time or any smart time. But in today's generation, screen time is not just about the cartoons anymore.
Mm.
We do really have many AI based learning apps like Khan Academy Kids, voice based helpers like Amazon Eco for Kids, and all the creative tools. For example, we have tools which generates the storytelling for kids using AI, math tutors, even art boards. So I feel like these are very interactive, personalized, and in some cases, I even think that it's very adaptive. Like when I recently saw one of the app. It was
Mhm.
really it was really taking the child's feedback. When I speak about feedback, it's all about the performance or the mood. So based on the child's performance or mood, they get the content on the screen. That's
Mhm.
way I would say when we call these kind of things as smart time in today's generation.
Mhm.
Nivedita, it's not really passive anymore. Everything what we see today is all about the active learning. But I'm always curious, like this kind of active learning, does that really make us better, make kids better?
Great question, Pavni. First of all, we cannot think that all the screen times are one and the same. It's like comparing broccoli with that of broccoli flavored candy. Like both of them look green, definitely, but very different outcomes. So passive screen time is more about binge watching. It is something that is associated with problems of attention. Like there is a lot of mood swings and lack of sleep or poor sleeping habits among children. But if it is technology that is used with intention and purpose, and this is something like that you have mentioned AI and the creative tools. Yes, it does support their problem solving skills. It does support their language development, and it does support their the levels of confidence. In those cases, yes, the smart time that we have the entire discussion is about is very useful. See, in case, for example, if your child is watching a video straight for 5 hours, even without blinking the eyes, then I think it's a bad idea. But if the child is using the learning apps, something that is challenging, something that is helping them to read, something that is helping them to create, I think that is a better one, definitely. So overall, what I'm trying to tell you is like AI is actually acting like a scaffold here. Like it's giving the gentle push to the children. It's giving the required amount of challenge for the children to grow. That is exactly what is happening in terms of technology these days. And also we have recent research also supporting this, especially from the Oxford University, which says that moderate intentional screen time is not bad, especially when something is associated with learning. It doesn't have any negative effect on child well-being. The trouble comes only if it is passive. The trouble comes only if it is prolonged usage. So we do see children using endless YouTube reels, watching endless YouTube reels, or that aimless gaming that they engage in. This is something that is more damaging. This is something that is more like associated with lack of attention, mood swings. This is something that is associated with disturbed sleeping habits.
Absolutely, absolutely. These extended screen times make children they make children more cranky. Children try to throw tantrums, and lack of sleep makes every like they feel like this is the end, and they make even like from my experience, they make the parents go crazy in today's world
Definitely.
for
Having
all
said this,
things.
Pavni, and also nothing can replace human interaction at the same time. Like the
Absolutely.
face-to-face conversations that we have, the unstructured play, all of it. Children also need these emotional regulations for their social growth and development. Because usually, if we see, most of the learning happens by role play. Children
Yeah.
learn by observation. So now no avatar can replace the high five, no avatar can replace the hug, and the conversations that we have over spilling of food during the breakfast. This is all something that doesn't come with technology as such, but it is only the parents who can educate the children on this.
Absolutely. That is the reason, Nivedita.
Mm.
I always tell parents AI is a tool, but it
Yeah,
cannot be a babysitter in today's
very true.
generation because
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Yes.
yeah, because it's very essential for parents to see what their children does on the especially on the phones with the AI toys. This really brings a large impact on the children or the kids who are doing it in the day-to-day activities. So from
Correct.
my side, the tips I usually recommend for all the parents, for the caregivers, it's like always use the platforms to allow these parental dashboards, what we have in the market, so we can see what our child is doing. At least we will know if there is something wrong. At least we can teach them, or we can say them in a in the way they understand. We can make them understand in an easy way, or it's better than someone observing our child and coming to us, and they might tell in a different tone, right? So it's as a parent, we might these dashboards might bring a change for the parents and also for the kids in a positive way, I would say. And always we have to choose the AI tools that involve open-ended creativity, like building, storytelling, or the problem solving. And the last one I would suggest is always and always co-use the app with your child. Co-using the any app with our child, it tries to bring the tech into quality time. And also we as a parent will be confident enough that our child is going into the right direction.
Very true, Pavni. So to add on here, setting clear rules and routines by the parent to the child. So this helps in the process of trust building also. Kids thrive on these routine, especially when it comes to screen time. They stop throwing tantrums because of this. So for example, we can have 30 minutes after your homework is done for alternate days or something like that. And also, as a parent, they have to observe if there are any signs of emotional overload. If the child is becoming too irritable after watching a particular app or a particular game, if the child is getting cranky after using it, maybe it is the time for us to understand it is a red flag and this child is overstimulated. And also the idea of reinforcing that screens are just helpers and they're not substitute for anything. They're not your best friends, they're not your heroes. So technology is only an enhancer. It is not something that is going to be replaced. I tell the students also the same thing. It is something to enhance your performance but not to replace. Your creativity is also very important. So try to enhance it but not replace it. So, for example, we don't give the piece of cake for the children every day for breakfast, lunch, and also for dinner, isn't it? So it is only at one particular time that we serve. The same way comes with technology also. It is always good to give it in small amounts rather than engaging it for the entire day. So I
Yeah.
also have the example of this case of a woman. She actually had a very difficult time with the child about the screen time, and the child used to engage in it during the bedtime. So she started using AI storytelling app with the 7-year-old child. So, in order to fight out the screen time, they used to sit together. They used to watch these AI bedtime stories of, dancing dinosaurs or something like that. And this validates the child feels heard, she feels creative, and also she feels calm basically before going to bed. So this is more not like a bedtime battle now. It has
Yeah.
turned out to be, best part of the day also eventually. So something like this, smart usage is what is more important rather than, screen usage. That is what I'm trying to tell.
Yeah, absolutely. When you say the smart usage, like when we always think about emotional well-being, but I would say digital well-being also plays an important role in anyone's life. Digital well-being is nothing but we have to be very cautious when we think about our kids, what they're doing on the phones, smartphones, laptops, or with the AI toys, what we have today. And one thing, Nivedita, like I hear often from everyone is like they will be very happy. And as a tech lover, I was very happy to hear from them that they say that their children learn so much from these apps, and I feel like that's great. But as a
Mhm.
parent, it's really like we really need to watch for overuse or the dependency, like only having smart time for few minutes in a day is okay, but having this smart time or with substitution with the another thing, like for example, if we have like for 4 to 5, for example, as a time to go out and play with the other kids, it should not be a substitute for us to with an AI toy, what I
Correct.
would say. Yeah.
Mhm.
So this maintaining the balance for the between the digital well-being is very important, and I always believe that AI is designed to be engaging, and sometimes with this overusage or dependency, it's almost too engaging. So we should be very conscious as a parent.
Hmm. Very true, Pavni. And also, we see children throwing temper tantrums when the battery dies. All of it. Here is exactly the role of neuroscience that comes into picture. So there is a lot of trigger of dopamine that is happening, the happy hormone. So basically, if we look into some of the apps, I would say most of the apps are designed in such a way that it becomes addictive. So it starts releasing the dopamine. So there is an activation of the entire pathway, the reward system, the happy chemical. So kids definitely don't want to stop because of this. So, we see kids throwing tantrums when the screen is taken away. That is exactly congratulations to the parents that the dopamine actually started its role. So tantrums because when the screens are taken away, disinterested, to engage in the non-digital play or preferring, screen over friends and food. I mean, if it is pizza, it's a different case altogether. But if it is not that, so these are all signs of pop-up. These are all red flags. So digital well-being that you have been talking about, it is all not about banning any, screen time as a whole together, but it is balancing brains. That is what is more important these days.
Yeah, absolutely, Nivedita. So when we speak about this, we always have this question in our mind. Like most of the parents, like we have this question, like, can screen time or smart time be a healthy tool for our kids? Yes, only if we are intentional, I would say, because our major goal is not to eliminate the complete screen time and making our kids bored with only toys, but to elevate it with purpose and awareness. Yes, you are hearing it right. Anything which we introduce to our kids in today's world it should have some purpose, and also they should be educated on that.
Exactly. And also, considering technology like a trampoline, where there is fun, there is also growth, and also there is a lot of supervision and guidance. It's not,
Yeah.
the goal isn't about guilt, it is about guidance at the end of the day. So, as you have mentioned, co-use of the apps, limited without fear, and talk about it. See, the idea here is not to, completely remove junk food from the list, right? We do offer sometimes. Nobody is interested in eating the same leafy vegetables every day. So balance it, little junk, but more of fuel. Healthy fuel,
Yeah.
I would say. In fact, talk about it. If the child is playing a particular game, sit with the child, ask, this game is funny, but how is it helping you to learn? Guide, guide. As being a parent, we can always say that, let's sit together and create an app. Let's create a comic for you. So these are some things that, we can move it more from a screen time to a smarter ways of dealing with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like having a healthy screen time or smart time would help kids. And also there is other time, like only giving or introducing the smart time or the screen time more to the kids. It brings an overstimulation within them, and kids will be definitely more cranky. And also there will be in the emotional shift too. I think, Nivedita, the insights what we have spoken today on our podcast, it really helps lot of parents and the caregivers. And thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in our podcast. If this episode helped you rethink about the screen time, share it with a fellow parent and subscribe to Tech and Thoughts for more conversations like this. Until next time, stay curious and stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you, Pavni. Thank you for helping us all out with such a valuable information that you're giving us on a day-to-day basis. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you, Nivedita.